It all starts in the trenches, and Florida State stays hot in the portal and brings in another transfer. This time, a massive offensive lineman. We'll talk about it next. Hey guys, thanks for coming to the channel. Thanks for hanging out, and thanks for supporting. We've had a ton of comments lately. We've had a ton of new subscribers, and we've had a lot of growth on the channel. I can't say thank you guys enough. I know I say that at the beginning of every video, but I really do mean it. It's a blast to hang out with you guys and try and bring you FSU content. Hopefully you're enjoying it as much as I am. Make sure you're subscribed, and make sure you're supporting Garnet and Gold. So many of you are into saving money, and so many of you are using that code NOSLAW. That's NOSLAW at checkout. You'll get 15% off your order. Make sure that you're ordering your FSU gear, whether it's for the holidays or you're stocking up for the bowl game in Orlando. Whatever you're getting it for, make sure you're using the best retailer of FSU licensed apparel out there. It's gardengold.com, NOSLAW at checkout for 15% off. Florida State landed the commitment of Jeremiah Byers today. He is a 6'4" offensive tackle that is listed at 315 pounds. On3 has him listed as their 6th highest rated transfer prospect. As a reminder, FSU already pulled On3's 9th best player in Jaheim Bell. Byers is a kid who came to Tallahassee immediately after he was able to enter the portal, and for all intent purposes, it sure did seem like he loved his visit. Here you can see him while he's chomping it up with Coach Atkins, chatting people up around the field. I have to imagine he saw himself playing on that field while he was on his visit with 80,000 screaming FSU fans there, and I can't imagine that hurt his recruitment at all. It's a cool place to be. Later in the video, which was on his Instagram, they showed highlights of the Noles games from this year on that big screen, and I had to imagine that was a really, really cool moment with the war chant blaring. I don't want to say that was what sealed the deal, but pretty cool moment for Mr. Byers, and I'm sure it played a big part in him committing to FSU. Byers redshirted at UTEP in 2019, but in 2020, he did play 6 games, starting 3 of them. In 2021, he really took off. He started all 13 games for the Miners as their right tackle, and he took home honorable mention all-conference in Conference USA. This last year, however, best year yet. In 2022, he won first-team all-conference USA honors again, starting all 12 games for the Miners. Getting a guy who started that many games and has that much experience is huge for the Noles. Sometimes in the portal, you have to take a guy whose production has been low that you know you can develop. A guy like Johnny Wilson, a guy like Trey Benson, who has done a lot and they've done an excellent job with. But I don't want to call Byers a sure thing, but getting a guy who started the last 25 games for his program that he's at is pretty awesome. And it's something that I think the Noles are super ecstatic about bringing in. Florida State's getting a guy who could and should start on the offensive line for them in 2023. Losing Dylan Gibbons and Dimitri Emmanuel from that rotation are pretty big shoes for Byers to have to fill, but I think he will excel at FSU and do them really well. FSU knows how important offensive line play is. Last season, 2022, was probably the best offensive line play that we've seen in Tallahassee since 2013. Look at what it let our offense do. For them to be a top 10 offense, both in yards per play and based on FPI and advanced analytics, that offensive line had to be cranking. And Norvell and Atkins don't just want to keep FSU's offensive line at its current level. They want it better. They know that the talent that they have out wide and in the backfield is remarkable, and they can only get to where they want to go by that offensive line improving to make that offense even more dangerous in 2023. Byers is a guy who can definitely do more than one thing. He's got a big frame, and he's really quick on his heels. He's a great pass blocker. And as a tackle at UTEP, he was very, very good in that offense. But he's also really, really good at driving guys backwards. He's extremely athletic and strong, and he's a great run blocker. UTEP was great in the running game in 2021. Took a little step back in 2022. Their offense just wasn't the same, but he was a big part of why they were so good in the running game. It's also why he's won all-conference the last 2 years, both honorable mention and then this year first team. He moves his feet extremely well, and like we said, he's very athletic for his size. I think that he'll do very well at Florida State in translating up to a different level. He's a difference maker. Like we talked about, a multi-year starter. And you know that Norvell only brings guys in who both positively impact the team both on and off the field. Alex Atkins has a great track record with bringing in transfers and letting them shine at FSU. From Dylan Gibbons to Turntine to Dimitri Emanuel, Caden Lyles and Bless Harris, even though they got injured, they were still very positive impacts in both spring and fall ball for the team. Atkins does it again with bringing in a guy who can make an immediate impact and is highly sought after. Several teams were in on Byers, and the Noles kind of locked this up early so that they never had a chance. The Noles got in early here and remained relentless until Byers committed. Atkins proves that he's once again one of the best recruiters, not only on this staff, but in this country. It's really impressive work by not only Atkins, but his entire unit, his entire group, to get this commitment from Jeremiah Byers. Thank you guys again for tuning in. Let's celebrate this one. The Noles pick up another elite transfer in Jeremiah Byers, one of the top 10 transfers according to On3. And that 22 offense that we saw that was top 10 could be that much better in 2023 with this addition in the trenches. Make sure that you're subscribed. We have a ton of content coming out over the next week and month with a lot of recruiting, a lot of transfer portal talk, a lot of coaching talk. Should be just about that time soon too. Make sure you're supporting Garnet and Gold using code NOSLAW at checkout for 15% off. We will talk to you guys all soon. Go Noles.